This video was sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another review, and today I'm going to be taking a look at something that is a blast from the past, and that of course is the 1/100 Full Mechanics Gundam Vidar. You guys have asked me to do this for so long, and I built this, well, I don't even know how long ago, probably when it came out, which was December 2016, so this is a 4-year-old kit. And because of that, I do not have the box for the intro. I can't talk about anything like that anymore. The build to me is a little bit hazy, so I'm just gonna have to take a look at this as it is. I'll also mention I have done a couple of little things with this, which makes it a little bit different from what it would be like out of box. But hey, that's enough rambling about this kit. Let's just get right into it and check it out. So first off, this right here is what the 1/100 Full Mechanics Gundam Vidar looks like out of the box, snapped together with some parts painted, some parts panel-lined, and has been standing on the shelf for about 3 or so years. So in general, this right here is not necessarily what you're going to get out of the box, but well, if you put a bit of panel lining on it, a little bit of paint, this is essentially what you'll get. This could also be missing pieces, etc. that I'm maybe not noticing right now, but as far as I know, I got everything. I did search in a big old box of parts and found a few bits that are missing, namely these thrusters round back, so I think for the most part, it's intact. To me, the design of Gundam Vidar is one of the coolest Gundam designs ever. I'm not sure if it's the overall mix of sharp angles and square edges, if it's that Attack on Titan style weaponry on its hips, or just that badass color scheme, which I never noticed until now, but my wife just mentioned it. Kind of looks like the Pokemon Lucario. But the whole package of this right here looks phenomenal. Even though this is just a full mechanics kit, which means it's not a master grade, it is 1/100 scale, but it is a very simple kit. If you took the 1/100 version of Gundam Barbatos and put it beside the recently released master grade Gundam Barbatos, there is no comparison whatsoever. One is so much better than the other. That's why I do hope that sometime in the future we will be getting this badass mobile suit right here in master grade form. However, we will be getting something very interesting soon, and that of course is the Metal Robot Spirits variant of Gundam Vidar, so that's pretty cool. But hey, speaking about that Metal Robot Damashi, let's check it. Damn it! Every time, if only I had some kind of VPN? Like most people during these trying times, Rin is at home spending more time and money online. But what she doesn't realize is, now, more than ever, she's a potential victim of cybercrime.
Hey, I'm Spooky the Net Gremlin, and there's nothing I love more than data theft, tracing, surveillance, and commercial targeting. And you know what I don't like? VPNs like Surfshark. Hey look, she's trying to invest in her future by buying Dogecoin. All I have to do is press this here button and all her Dogecoin are belong to me. Wait, no! Surfshark is securing her crypto assets by encrypting her data and avoiding malware. She's making sure her wallet cannot be traced and identified via her VPN address. Damn it! Yeah, but I still have my shady advertisements. What? She's even stopped going to dodgy, illegitimate anime websites. By using Surfshark VPN and changing her country to Japan, she's now using Japanese Netflix to watch all the Gundam. All the Gundam! Damn it! It's all because of that meddling Mecha Gaikotsu and his code Mecha that gets you 85% off plus 3 extra months for free! Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out for yourself. Link is in the description below!
So anyway, there's that full 360-degree spin of the Full Mechanics 1/100 Gundam Vidar. And all I can say is, once again, I absolutely adore this design, and they've done it well, very well, even though this is technically a non-grade kit. The detailing on the shoulder and chest and legs and torso, it all looks great. Those are some very beautiful panel lines. As for the color separation, once again, I can't talk too much about this because it has been a long time since I built it, but we've got that great shade of blue, gray of the inner frame, the almost black of the rest of the exterior armor, and that awesome red popping off against everything. Visually, this thing really is a treat, and all I can say is, I do love it, and you may have noticed by now, and I might as well explain. As for those metallic sections you can see that are in a metallic color, I did paint those, well, obviously, quite a while ago. This was just a paint test more than anything else. That's why None of those mold lines on there have been cleaned up before I painted them. I just wanted to see what the particular paint was like on unprimed plastic, and the answer is, it's okay. It's Tamiya, I think. And while I'm mentioning these very poorly painted parts, I will mention that there is a detailing contest going on in the Mecha Gaikotsu Discord right now, just in case you didn't see it in the last video. And I'll soon be starting my first ever customized gunpla project, which will probably be a wreck. And one more thing I have to say about these kits is they don't age very well at all. He's starting to just buckle under his own weight there, and I have tightened up a lot of the joints in this kit. It's just the kind of polycaps that are used in these 1/100 kits, including Reborn 100 and these Full Mechanics 1/100s. You're just always fighting a losing battle against them, I find. You tighten up a joint by thickening whatever part needs to be thickened up, and eventually those kind of polycaps just end up stretching out. Polycaps just aren't great in bigger kits like this right here. It's not the worst. It wouldn't be so bad on an action base, but on a glass table like this, yeah, he just wants to do the splits. So now moving on to a couple of size comparisons, and if they ended up in some kind of cross-universe combat, that is how tall the Gundam Vidar would be beside the old-school Granddaddy RX-78-2. That, of course, is the Master Grade 3.0. There it is side by side with a 1/100 Zaku. Once again, this is the 2.0. There it is beside a small Gundam, that is the Gundam F90. And there it is side by side with a big Gundam, which is the Master Grade New Gundam Vidar. So now moving on into the accessories, and here is the 1/100 Full Mechanics Gundam Vidar with pretty much everything that it comes with. It's missing a couple of parts. So what we've got in here is the rifle, a pair of pistols, a couple of alternate hands for holding stuff. We also have those wide spread open hands, but once again, I'm not sure if there's anything else in here because this kit has been knocking around for a while. And we also have a pair of Gundam Vidar's iconic rapiers, and you might be like, that's not a pair. And once again, one of those is probably knocking around in the bottom of the Who's That Gundam part box, which I really need to get around back into doing. But yeah, we also have 6 blades in total. Once again, that's not 6, probably attached to the other rapier somewhere. But let's not focus on what I don't have, let's focus on what I do have, and let's check everything out one at a time. So like I mentioned, we do have a pair of widespread dynamic hands in here, and as for the hands, these are the swappable kind. So basically, if you want to swap them out for the other ones, they just pop off like this. And once again, I'm not sure if there's other hands in here besides the holding hands, but the holding hands that the Vidar has are those separating parts for attaching in whatever weapon, and these do have a nice moving wrist for using with the rapiers. So speaking of the rapiers, there is 2 of these, not just the one. This is what they look like. Tab up here for attaching them. The blades can be removed. Once again, these just attach into the hands like this. Tab in here, so they're not going anywhere. And that right there is a quick example of what they look like attached into the hands. The blades that aren't in use can just be attached down into these side sections. Once again, very familiar to a certain Titan slaying anime. And that right there is what they look like loaded in there. Next up then in here we've got that pair of pistols. These are quite simple, just 2 parts from what I can see, all in the one color. Pops into the hand, as simple as that. There may be another hand for this, but works in here. And there's an example of Gundam Vidar with that pistol attached into the hand. When these aren't in use, we do have some storage here on the underside of the front skirting armors. Just pop the gun in there, and it's nicely stored away. So much so, and so flush and clean that I almost forgot that these were in here. Next up then in here is the rifle in a lighter shade of grey. Once again, this is quite plain. It's just a couple of basic parts. As for the sight in there, that is just a sticker, not a foil one, just a color one in pink. Hold up, that ain't no sticker. That is actually a plastic pink part. Just like what we're seeing right up there for Gundam Vidar's eye. So that's pretty cool. Once again, that slides on into the hand. Gundam Vidar is standing like someone who's had one too many to drink there. Whoa, hold yourself together, boy. But anyway, that right there is what it looks like, attached into the hands of the drunk Vidar. But while I'm speaking about it struggling to stand up, I guess it's time to move on to the build and the articulation. So just a bit of a disclaimer on the side of the Gundam Vidar right here. Sure, the build isn't, well, being the strongest right now in this video, but this was built about 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, was shipped all the way from Japan to Ireland in a big old box full of other Gundams, so that will also affect it, and these kits were a bit on the floppy side anyway, so I'll give it that, I guess, when it comes to its actual build strength. So I'm not going to talk about that too much. Let's just talk about what articulation we get out of this guy. So at the neck here, we're not really getting anything in the line of a giggity giggity. It's just mainly this ball joint up top that gives us that all the way up, which is, well, pretty much nothing. There's all the way down. Side to side, we'll bring it all the way around, and we've got a little bit of pivot, pivot, pivot. I know it's a little bit unfair for this kit, but I'm going to stick to my normal rule of if it falls off, it stays off, and this chest is very bad for, wow, just while I'm speaking, falling apart. I say with these kits, the full mechanics, glue, 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 glue. But anyway, next up at the shoulder, we've got full rotation at this point. That may get blocked by some stuff, but that section does allow it to rotate. That isn't the rotation of the shoulder, by the way. That is the part that is attaching both the shoulder and the shoulder armor on. So this can move independently, be rotated like this, and this arm can move independently to the shoulder armor as well, which is pretty cool. We've got that full spin at the upper arm, a double jointed bend at the elbow. There's the first joint, just a little bit. There's the rest, so you cannot complain about that right there. Beautiful. The wrist here is just a ball joint, but like I mentioned about the other hand, it has a second joint in it, so you do get both of those. These are, once again, quite floppy. Another one of those to add to the pile. Around the backpack, these little segments here, these are on ball joints, so they can do what a ball joint can do. As for the ab crunch, there it is all the way to the front. There it is all the way to the back. So these little pistons move with that, which is quite nice for a non-grade kit. At the waist then, there's the rotation from there to there. The little piston segments get a bit in the way, but if you lift them up, you can get them around even more, so pretty much the whole way around. As you can see, that has been thickened up with super glue, but again, these polycaps tend to stretch over time and, you know, get floppy again. The front skirting here is a ball joint, so that does exactly what you would expect from a ball joint. The 3D maneuverability gear here has 2 points of movement, that's up and down, very floppy. Back and forward, once again, like I said, this is because it's quite old. A somewhat premium butt flap, impressive. Inside the waist here, we do have a pivoting mechanism like we see in some high grade, so that gives you a little bit extra. And as for what we get out of that, there is the kick all the way up to the front, so that's not too bad, but it took a bit of fiddling. There it is. Ooh, that does not feel nice. There it is all the way out to the back, so not bad. And can the Gundam Vidar pull off the splits? Ooh, man, this guy can barely hold together at all. There we go. We do have this little armor lip section up there. That actually stops the upper leg from having the full rotation, but you get pretty much all you'd want to get out of that. As for the bend at the knee, that is a 2-point bend right there, so this is what we get. There it is bent, there it is straight. At the ankle then, it is down and up, so that's the extension, flex, and quite the unique side-to-side pivot that we see in these Gundam frames. As well as that, the Vidar is rocking some weapons in its feet, so we've got that heel blade and this toe blade. Oh man, I absolutely loathe touching these kits. They always fall apart in so many different places. Yeah, full mechanics kits, I would say for display only. However, on the whole, the articulation of the full mechanics Gundam Vidar is not the worst. It's actually above basic. It is very nice to pose, but the build strength means it is floppy, parts fall off, so it will require some extra work to be fun to play around with. So anyway, that right there is it for my review of the 1/100 full mechanics Gundam Vidar. So like you can probably tell from the review, this is by no means a great kit. It's okay. Basically, if you really need a 1/100 Gundam Vidar for on your shelf, like I do, then you will love this kit just for the fact that it is a 1/100 Gundam Vidar. But if a master grade comes out or is announced, this thing will have absolutely no purpose whatsoever. It's very basic, the build quality is a little bit rough, over time it gets rougher, but still, for a full mechanics kit, it does look absolutely beautiful. The design is awesome, the surface detailing is pretty cool, the color is very nice to look at, and if they did make a master grade of this, that must be something that would be mind-blowing, because this still looks quite impressive. Once again, if you must get yourself a 1/100 Gundam Vidar, I'd say go for it. There is quite a high chance that we will get a master grade, so let's cross our fingers and hope we do. But at the end of the day, I'm not even going to rank this because it's not a graded kit per se, but it just isn't all that great, sadly. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. As always, make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews, and I will see you next time. So once again, I can't end this video right here without thanking each and every one of you guys for watching this video, as well as liking and subscribing. And of course, special thanks to my channel members and patrons, Craig Jury, Kaiser721, Tyler Sanders, Caleb Engelhart, and Sean T.